Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Apprentice School Athletic Center right here on the campus of the Apprentice School, on the campus of Newport News Shipbuilding right here in Newport News, Virginia. Folks, we want to say thank you so much for joining us. It is senior day here at the Apprentice School as our two seniors have just been honored. That is Caleb Molesky and Vershawn Ely. And man, oh man, have they had excellent careers here. And boy, have they been an attribute. I mean, just great additions to this basketball team. We've already seen one game, the first game of our doubleheader take place. We saw the ladies walk out of here with a huge victory over this Maine from out of Fort Kent, if I remember correctly, Maine, and they took them out by a score of 79-74. Now it's the men's opportunity. So right now, both teams' starting lineups are being introduced, and we have Coach Carly Flowers bringing her program into this afternoon's basketball game. Folks, they are 2-17 on the season. Now, the ladies played the Lady Bengals. They came in 0-13, and they did not play like it. So we expect the men to come in here and really, really put up a show against the Apprentice School men. So for the men, Coach Evan Key, who's in his fourth season now at the helm, they come into this evening's game with a 15-7 record. They are 10-0 in conference play, and they've already secured the regular season championship in the New South Athletic Conference. So as we move out of February into March and we start looking at tournament seedings and things like that, the guys still have some things to play for. So you want to continue to have momentum going into the offseason as well with each one of these victories. Right now, the Builders are 8-3 at home prior to this afternoon's game. Currently winners of 5 of 6 and are currently on a 2-game winning streak. So, folks, it should be a good one. So sit back, relax. Join me, Howard McCain, for all of you play-by-play. Dave Davenport is our engineer-producer. It's senior day here. Game number 2 of this afternoon's doubleheader here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. We are ecstatic that you can join us. Folks, we are getting ready for some fantastic basketball. So the opposing team is already at midcourt. The men for the Apprentice School are making their way to midcourt as Caleb Molesky is in the starting lineup along with Sean Ely. So our seniors are on the court ready to get this game kicked off. The officials for this afternoon's game are Tyler Jones, Earl Lee, and Spencer Coleman. And we are underway, and the tip is won and controlled by the visitors from Maine. That is the Bengals, and that is Jordan Guerrero. So Jordan Guerrero is joined on the floor for the Bengals by Micah Petty, Brigham Sherrod, Bryce Bolden, and also Veljko Koblik. As Caleb Molesky, the senior, has his shot blocked. That's Bryce Bolden with the block. So 19:30 left in the first half here. Shot clock at 7 as I'm sorry, I was going to say Mike Epps. That's Tony Epps, not Mike Epps, the comedian. Tony Epps, the basketball player. Basketball is kicked. So Tony Epps is joined on the floor with Caleb Molesky, Sean Ely, Clifton Good, and Jaden Eason. Missed the layup. Loose ball fought for and controlled by the Bengals. Here's Guerrero, who already scored in the basketball game, is Kublik. Shot partially blocked by Sean Ely. Sean Ely out and running, but unable to track down the outlet pass. So that'll be a turnover on the Builders. 18:55 left in the first half, and the Builders trail by 2 to the Bengals. Again, out of Fort. Why do I keep forgetting that? They're out of Fort Kent. Fort Kent, Maine. And like we said in the earlier broadcast, they're only about 1,006 miles away from where we are. As Coach Evan Key said, you can't get more north than that. So again, they come into this afternoon's game with a 2-17 record. Carly Flowers is their head coach. As Epps works inside to Good. Good. Able to split the defense, but unable to convert the layup. So he decides to go to the other side of the basket and lay it up for two. So Clifton Good with his first two of the basketball game, and we are tied. That long three-pointer comes off long. Rebound track deep in the corner by Sean Ely. Good. Working on the shorter player, able to use that height and size advantage to get the basketball over Rakim Sherrod, who's only 5'9", going up against Clifton Good, who's 6'6". So nice job by the Builders to recognize the mismatch underneath and allow Good to go to work. 4-2 now is Sherrod able to get all the way to the basket for two. And quickly the Builders, I believe, nope, they did not. I thought they turned it over. We have a quick stoppage in play. Clifton Good needs to tie his shoe. So we're ready to go. So again, this is a University of Maine at Fort Kent program. Again, located in Maine, and like I said earlier, about 1,006 miles away from here. They're a public college. They got about 1,500 students. As the ball is nearly poked away, as it was poked away, but it was touched. So it's going to be a backcourt violation. I know it was tapped away or last touched by a Bengal. Had Tony Epps let it drift into the backcourt and then grabbed it, it would not have been a violation. But instead, he grabbed it before it went into the backcourt, and his foot went over the line. So that's a backcourt violation. So the Builders with a turnover. Here's Petty. Sherrod. This is Cobley. His three-point shot, good. So Veljko Kalibric, Kalibric, I was calling him Kalibric, with his first three of the afternoon, and the Bengals come right back for another three. Rebound gathered, then poked away from Caleb Molesky. So Kyrie Smith and Angel Pacheco-Ortiz will make their way into the ball game as the Builders are now trailing by 3 to the visiting Bengals. University of Maine at Fort Kent was established way back in 1848. So a well-established university up in Maine. Feed inside. Kyrie Smith, high bank shot off the glass, 4-2. So 7-6 now. Bengals with a 1-point advantage. And the Builders may want to think about drifting out and picking up Kolibric for 3. That is his second. He now leads off scores with 6. So the Builders now trail by 4, 10-6. Here's Epps. Smith uses every inch of the rim and gets it to go for 2. And the Builders now trail 10-8 as the Bengal player stepped out of bounds. So Jordan Guerrero turns it over as we get a timeout. First timeout, media timeout at 15 and a half minutes left in the first half. The Builders trail by 2, 10-8 to the Bengals of the University of Maine of Fort Kent. Worley's Home Services is a full-service home service provider serving the Hampton Roads area. Established back in 2016, their original team of 3 has grown to 75 strong. Worley's Home Services is proud and motivated to serve all of the Hampton Roads, Virginia 757 community with the best possible care. Worley's Home Services, a proud sponsor of Apprentice Athletics. So our first stoppage in play is at the 15:30 mark of the first half here on Senior Day at the Apprentice School. We saw prior to the game the Builders' two lone seniors, Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely, honored. It's been a privilege to watch both of these student athletes excel here in this basketball arena in their time with the Apprentice School. So it'll be sad to see these guys go. Right now, both teams shooting decently. 4 from 9 for the field. From the field of the Builders, they're at 44%, while the visiting Bengals are 4 of 8, 50% from the field so far, as Epps is able to break the press. Tries to get it over to Pacheco Ortiz, but he loses it. Man-to-man defense right now by the visiting Bengals, as Good is stripped. That long three-point shot by Nat Lynn is no good. Epps, Good. Builders nearly turned it over on the bounce pass, but Kyrie Smith able to get it up and over the front of the rim, and the Builders and the Bengals are tied. 10-10, 14-30 left in the first half. Joshua Buckner with the basketball, new into the ball game. Kalibrick misses on the three. He already has two made three-pointers. His Epps off of a screen from Good. Good. His baseline jumper, no good. Kalibrick with the rebound. Buckner. Buckner has a tendency to fend off with that off arm when he's dribbling. It was last touched by Epps, but keep an eye on that and see doesn't that get called eventually, because he kind of likes to fend off with that off arm when he's dribbling the basketball against the defense. Avon Hawkins makes his debut in this afternoon's game. 6'4" junior out of Hampton. Here's Lynn. Lynn traveled. You can hear his shoes squeak as he went to the basket and tried to stop. So he's called for the travel. So the Builders now with an opportunity to take their first lead of the afternoon. Here's Pacheco Ortiz all the way to the basket, and he is fouled. Nice job of getting around the defense and getting to the basket was Pacheco Ortiz. So he's going to step to the line. That'll be a foul on Bruce Bolden. That will be his first personal foul in the team's first. So Angel Pacheco Ortiz gets an opportunity to shoot two. And he gives the Builders their first lead of the afternoon, 11-10. 13:25 left in the first half as Veljko Kalibrick has a seat. He has 6 points in the basketball game. Angel Pacheco Ortiz gets an opportunity to put his second point on the board, but not yet. He misses, so 11-10 is our score. Kevin Bowen also into the ball game for the visiting Bengals as Petty works off of a screen. Sherrod went right at Epps and was unable to convert. Here comes Ely. That was Hawkins with a beautiful bounce pass inside on the fast break to Pacheco Ortiz, who lays it up for two. So Pacheco Ortiz picks up his third point of the afternoon. Builders with a 3-point lead, 13-10. Long three-point shot goes down for Micah Petty. So we're knotted up at 13 apiece. 12-22 left in the first half as Epps being guarded closely by Sherrod. Epps to Ely. That deep corner three is bottom. The senior forward from Elizabeth City, North Carolina, with a deep corner three. That was nearly a travel, no call. Bit of a wild shot right there by Kevin Bowen. But the Bengals able to pick it off on the defensive end. Here comes Sean Ely on senior day with a stuff. And what better day to throw it down than on senior day after you've been honored. Builders now with an 18-13 lead over the Bengals. Shot hit the top, lucky to hit the top of the backboard by the Bengals. Bounce pass to Kyrie Smith. Wild shot, but he is fouled. So that is going to be, that personal foul is going to be assessed to Kelvin Bowen. That's his first personal foul and the team's second, and we have a timeout, media timeout, so of course we'll stay here with you. Howard McCain and Dave Davenport bringing you this afternoon's action as it happens here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. And so far, it has been up and down the court for both teams. Again, this is a University of Maine at Fort Kent program that comes into this game wounded from a record or wins and loss standpoint. They come in with a 2-7 record under Coach Carly Flowers to take on a Builder team that is playing extremely well, winners of 2 in a row and 5 of their last 6. And when they play at home, they play pretty darn well, 8-3 on the season for Coach Evan Key. So as we look at some of the stats early on, Builders right now 8 of 15. They're shooting 53%, while the visiting Bengals are 5 of 15. They're shooting 33%. Right now, the visiting Bengals are 3 of 7 from three-point land, while the Builders are 1 of 1 from three-point land. Builders right now making a lot of their hay inside the paint. They lead paint scoring right now 10-4 over the Bengals. So Kyrie Smith will get an opportunity to score the basketball at the free throw line, Builders with a 5-point lead, 18-13, 11-01 remaining in the first half, and Kyrie Smith hits the first. That voice you hear, if you're able to hear it, that's Coach Evan Key. As Kyrie Smith hits the second of 2, 20-13. Builders now with a 7-point lead over the Bengals. This is Bolden. This is Bolden, and he hits from 3. That's Baldwin. So Baldwin hits from 3. That narrows the Builder lead from 20-16. Epps. Deep corner 3. Hawkins. Nothing but bottom. No rim, all net. So the Builders now with a 23-16 lead over the visiting Bengals. Sherrod being guarded heavily by Hawkins. This is Baldwin. Baldwin. His long three-point shot. Wow. Set him up and knock him down. As you can hear the crowd for Maine go nuts after that three-point make, 24-19 now. Builders with a 5-point lead. Here's Epps. Inside to Ortiz, who's able to muscle it up And over the rim for two. 25-19 here on senior day at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Lots of energy right now on the floor, feeding off the energy that's coming down out of the stands. As Sherrod misses, here comes Hawkins. Hawkins doesn't have the numbers, but still he shoots anyway. Rebound fought for by teammates, and it goes out of bounds. So that'll be Apprentice School basketball on this end. As Jaden Eason makes his way into the ball game for the Builders, that'll give Sean Ely, the senior, an opportunity, or the senior honoree, an opportunity to get a rest. Epps able to inbound to Hawkins, but there's a tie-up underneath. It's going to be a foul call on Rakeem Sherrod. That is his first personal foul and the team's third. Builders are yet to commit a foul. Kick outside. Kyrie Smith makes a step inside, but he is unable to hit the shot. But Ortiz is fouled underneath. So Jordan Guerrero picks up his first personal foul. That would be the team's fourth. Feed inside. Eason off the glass for his first two of the afternoon. Builders now up by 8, 27-19 over the Bengals. Here's Sherrod, able to beat the defense. Got all the way to the rim, but just couldn't finish. Epps to Smith. Smith with a high flying bank off of the glass for two. Builders now with a 10-point lead, 29-19. As the Bengals turn it over, here's Kyrie Smith. Showtime. And we get a timeout. Timeout being taken by Coach Carly Flowers, as she's seen her team go down now by 12, 31-19 to the Builders on senior day. Here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center, we are thrilled that you could join us. And right now it's just all Builders on both ends of the floor. We saw Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely be honored at the beginning of tonight's broadcast. Before we came on with you, they were honored. So it's great to see those guys playing well this evening. With nearly 148,000 members and more than $2.2 billion in assets, Bayport Credit Union's purpose and philosophy remains faithful to their motto of people helping people. Bayport is committed to developing long-term prosperity for our communities by committing to their member financial well-being. Bayport Credit Union, a proud sponsor of Apprentice Athletics. Builders lead now 31-19 as we've seen Kyrie Smith come off the bench, and he's already leading all scorers on the floor. He already has 12 points so far. Again, Builders right now with a sizable advantage in bench points. Builders now 20-0 in bench points. 18-4 in points in the paint. So 8-18 remaining in the first half. Builders now with a 12-point advantage. Petty works against Hawkins. Finds Guerrero, but it comes right back to Petty with a skip pass over to Bowen. Inside. Shot by Bowen, was looking for the foul. It did not come, so back come the Builders. Eason. Shot fake, kind of fended off with that right elbow, so that's going to be on Jaden. That is going to be on Eason. Yeah, you can kind of see as he was about to get ready to go up for the shot, he fended off the defender with that right arm, got the elbow up, and they called the foul. So good call by the official. 31-19. Builders by 12 as Colibri gets back on the floor. And that's going to be carrying by Kolibrick, so they'll turn it over. Kolibrick, the 6'6" junior out of Serbia. Here's Adrian Wall. So Wall, Eason, Hawkins, Ortiz, and Kyrie Smith make up your 5 on the floor for the Builders. And Smith, who already has 12 points, feeds Eason underneath, who is held. So Jordan Guerrero picks up his second personal foul. That's the team's 5th. So a couple more, and the Builders will be in the bonus. Hawkins, long, deep corner 3, in and out. Rebound tapped around, but last touch by the Builders. As the 2 seniors being honored today check in to the basketball game, Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely. To the delight of their fans in the crowd. That's Petty. Works against Ely. Guerrero feeds it off to Baldwin, who wasn't able to hit, but there to tip it back in was Jordan Guerrero. Here's Wall. Smith was going for his 14th point, unable to get it. Molesky fought for the rebound, and I think they said it was last touched by the Bengals. Joshua Buckner back in for the visiting Bengals. Builders with a 10-point lead. Ely triple team and lost it. But back on the other end to poke it away is Adrian Wall. It goes out of bounds, so it will stay Bengal basketball with 6:26 left in the first half on senior day here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Here's Baldwin. Working against Molesky. Loses it out of bounds. Nice defensive effort by Caleb Molesky. And for Molesky, that is how you make your mama proud. She is here, by the way. Here's Wall. Looking for someone to get it to. Gets it to Smith. And gets the reverse layup to go for 2. So 33-21, Builders now with a 12-point lead over the Bengals as Kolibrick travels. So that's back-to-back turnovers by Kolibrick with the basketball in his hands, and we get a timeout. We get a timeout taken by Coach Carly Flowers. That is her second timeout. 5:47 left in the first half, and the Builders have been in control since the opening tip, 33-21. We saw earlier the Apprentice School Lady Builders come out and take care of business as well against an 0-13 University of Maine at Fort Kent women's basketball team led by Coach Devon Sherman. We saw them come out and take that victory by a score of 79-74. They started off slow, but picked up their scoring and pretty much pulled away and maintained the lead all the way through once they got the lead. So the Builders are trying to do the same thing with the men. 33-21, 5:47 left in the first half. Here's Molesky. So Adrian Wall will advance the basketball across the timeline and work against this man-to-man defense of the Bengals. Smith, feed inside to Eason. Eason able to navigate through the defense, bank it off the glass for 2. 35-21, 14-point lead by the Builders. Ball stolen by Wall. Wall all the way down to the other end for the uncontested layup. So 36-21, Builders with the lead. And we're going to get an illegal screen on the visiting Bengals. That is Bryce Bolden. That's their second personal foul. That's going to be the team's sixth. So we still have 5:02 left in the first half. Builders, if they're able to get one more foul, they'll be in the 1-and-1. Wall at 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Wall rises up for three, no good. Long rebound comes off to Ely. Smith asks for the screen, doesn't use it. Here's Ely, shot clock now under 10. Ely, his long three, no good. Gleebrick with a rebound. Here's Petty, looking. Lynn. Shot an air ball by Kevin Bowen. So that'll be a turnover back to the Builders as Tony Epps makes his way into the ball game. The 6-foot junior out of Norfolk. Builders up by 16, 37-21 as the outlet. And it's going to be a backcourt violation. Even though the Bengals were able to cause the turnover, it's going to be a backcourt violation. That's going to be called on the visiting Bengals. Easton to inbound. Here's Wall. Lynn with the block. Lynn working against Wall. Buckner with the elbow, and we're going to get a timeout, but first, before that, there's going to be a foul call on Adrian Wall. So that's going to be a media timeout, the under 4 timeout, as Adrian Wall picks up his first personal foul. That'll be the team's second. So we'll stay here with the Builders leading by 16 on senior day here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center as Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely are the lone seniors in the program who will be moving on after this season, but have to tip your hat to both gentlemen, Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely are probably having their best seasons since they've been in a Builder uniform. I know for Sean Ely, especially defensively, he has been fantastic, while Sean Ely has really flourished on the offensive end this season. Right now, Ely with 5 points, but it's Kyrie Smith that has paced all scorers with 14 in the basketball game. Bryce Baldwin, he has 6 points for the visiting Bengals. He leads all Bengals in scoring. 3:36 left in the first half here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. Once again, we do appreciate you joining us as the Builders look to pick up their 16th win of the season. Feed inside to Lynn, who kicks it back out. This is Buckner. Buckner able to get it off just ahead of the shot clock expiring. Here's Epps. Wall shoots over the top of the defense for 3. So 40-21 now. Builders with their largest lead of the evening, 19. Here's Buckner. And we get a traveling violation on Butler. So that will be the 11th turnover committed so far by the visiting Bengals as Rakeem Sherrod makes his way into the ball game for the Bengals. So they've committed as many turnovers in the first half as teams usually average across an entire basketball game. As Epps looks. Ely with the shorter player. Ely working off of the defense of the 5'9" Sherrod, but he's unable to take advantage of it. So the basketball will stay on this end. Angel Pacheco Ortiz will make his way into the basketball game for Caleb Molesky. Here's Ely. Ball strip. Sherrod. Kalibrick has his shot blocked by Adrian Wall. That starts the Builder fast break. It's Wall. Pulls. And that's going to be a foul underneath on Ortiz. Ortiz with a slight push in the back on the rebounder. It was called by the officials, so basketball goes over to the Bengals. We're now under 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Sherrod's corner three, no good. So 1:35 left in the first half. Builders with a 19-point lead as we get a foul underneath. So that foul call is going to go on Jordan Guerrero. That is his third personal foul, and that's the team 7. So that'll put the Builders in the bonus as Coach Evan Key will take a timeout. So 1:33 left in the half here on senior night at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. It's good to see the crowd really come out and support these guys as they get ready to wind down their basketball career here at the Apprentice School. I know for me, calling these games and watching these guys really grow as men and as basketball players, it has been a privilege to watch them play. Sean Ely has really elevated his game this season from an offensive standpoint, and that has been really, really fun to watch. So Adrian Wall will step in to shoot free throws with the clock stopped at 1:33 left. Builders with a 19-point lead looking to add. Bengals clear the rebound. Here's Wilson. Wilson. Long three-point shot by Jordan Guerrero. So for Guerrero, that is his 7th point of the evening. That reduces the Builder lead now to 16, 40 to 24 as a skip pass to Ortiz. Epps working off of defense on Wilson. Epps' pass is picked off by Guerrero. Lynn for three. So Nate Lynn with his first points of the evening. 40 to 27, a 13-point lead now for the Builders as Epps now with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Eason. Wall with the shot clock at 10. Wall's runner is good. So 20 seconds left in the first half as Wilson works. Game clock now at 10. Here's Lynn, feed to Wilson. Wilson, high, fake shot off the glass is good. Here's us with 3. 42. Good if it goes, and it does not. And that is how the first half of action ends here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. At the half, your score 42-29. Builders over the Bengals here on senior night at the Apprentice School Athletic Center.
Thank you.
Again, we are so happy you can join us. So we will take a break. We will allow you to take a break. We'll come back with second half action and first half stats. Again, your halftime score, Builders 42, the Bengals of Maine at Fort Kent 29. We'll be back after halftime. about a minute and a half away from the beginning of the second half of today's doubleheader here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. We saw Caleb Molesky and Sean Ely be honored prior to the game as they are getting set to wind down their career here at the Apprentice School Apprentice School, not just the athletic center, but also the school as well. And again, it's been a privilege to watch them grow and get better from their freshman year till now in this basketball program. So Builders right now with a 42-29 lead over the visiting Bengals from the University of Maine at Fort Kent. Of course, located in Fort Kent, Maine. So glad that Coach Carly Flowers could bring her basketball team here to take on the Apprentice School Builders, who are trying to improve their overall record to 16-7 under fourth-year head coach Evan Key. So as far as some of your stats, Jordan Guerrero went into the halftime locker room with the scoring lead for the visiting Bengals, while Kyrie Smith poured in 14 points for the Builders in the first half. He led all scorers. Builders with 24 rebounds. Excuse me. Builders with 24 rebounds. Bengals with 13. Bengals committed 11 turnovers. Builders 7. Builders were 18 of 35 shooting for 51%, while the Bengals were 11 of 29 shooting for 38%. Builders, again, getting a lot of points inside the paint right now. They lead that category 26-8. Also 29-5 is the Builder advantage in bench points. Builders led by as many as 19 in the first half as we get set to get things underway for the second half. Again, thank you for coming back with us as we are looking to getting ready to wrap up senior day here at the Apprentice School Athletic Center. 20 minutes left. Here's Epps. As we get a whistle, a lot of activity on the inside as it's a call on Nate Lynn. So that'll be Nate Lynn's first personal foul. That'll be the team first of the second half. As Ely works against Lynn. Lynn partially blocked the shot. Lynn decides to pull it out and wait for his teammates. Here's Sherrod. Inside. Baldwin was able to create just enough space between he and the defender to get a shot off and into the basket. 42-31 now. Builders now with a 11-point lead as Molesky able to get all the way to the basket and laid in for two on senior day. One of the honorees this afternoon is Caleb Molesky. Molesky now with 2 points in the basketball game. Here's Lynn. Shot clock now at 10. As Sherrod, knife through the defense, has it stolen by Eason. Eason running. Feed to Molesky. It is up in the hands of Ely, who's able to finger roll it in for two. So senior to senior for two. 46-31, Builders with a 15-point lead. Calibri, nice spin move, but had it stolen. Feed inside. Ely with the dunk. And we get a stoppage in play. I think there may have been a foul along with it, but Sean Ely with the exclamation point on senior night. As we have a stoppage in play, we're going to have a timeout as the arena goes nuts. As Tony Epps and Rashawn Ely on the breakout. Nice job by Epps to draw the defense in, fed it to Ely, who finished with the left-handed dunk on senior night of all nights. And that pushes the Builder lead to 48-31, and everyone here in the arena absolutely loved it. And so did this announcer. That was fun to watch.
We took a 30-second, but it turned into a medium.
So the Builders took a 30-second timeout, but they changed it to a full timeout, a media timeout instead. So 18:09 remaining. Builders now with a 17-point lead over the Bengals. Wow. And again, that play right there really does speak to the growth and the development that you've seen out of Sean Ely in this basketball program under Coach Evan Key. You can tell that he's gotten stronger in his body, and he's playing with so much confidence this season. All right, we are back in play as Kalibrick is able to get it across the timeline and gives it off to Sherrod. Builders playing man-to-man defense. Sherrod with the spin move. Able to get his own rebound in amongst the trees. Again, he's only 5'9", but was able to pull down that rebound as Epps pushes to Molesky. Builders slow things down in the half court. Good. Muscles his way to the basket for two, and he is fouled. That foul will be charged to Veljko Kalibrick. That'll be his first personal foul and the team's second, so that'll put Clifton Good at the line with an opportunity to complete the three-point play. Rebound cleared by Baldwin. Here's Baldwin. Able to get around and over the defense, and he's fouled. So Caleb Molesky will pick up his first personal foul, the team's first. So I guess they're discussing now whether that was on the floor. Nope. No discussion. Bryce Baldwin will shoot two. Clock stopped at 17:18 remaining. Builders up by 19. Baldwin hits the first of two. So the Builder lead will stay at 18, 50-32. Epps ahead to Ely. Eason thought about the three. This time he takes it, and he hits. So long three-point shot is good for Jaden Eason, and now the Builder lead is up to 21. 53-32, as Sherrod is able to take Epps off the dribble and score. So lead back down to 19, 53-34 is Epps. Looks like the Bengals have settled into a bit of a zone here defensively. And that's to try to take away any hope of the Builders trying to dribble penetrate to the basket. As the Builders now Eason under 4. 3, Epps with 2, launches and hits. And stares down Sherrod. Be careful, Epps, you can get called for taunting. But that three-point is good as we have another foul. So Caleb Molesky picks up his second personal foul. That is his second personal foul. So we're going to take a timeout. Media timeout, the under 16 timeout, 15:57 remaining in the basketball game. And the Builders with a sizable lead, 56-34. With nearly 148,000 members and more than $2.2 billion in assets, Bayport Credit Union's purpose and philosophy remains faithful to their motto of people helping people. Bayport is committed to developing long-term prosperity for our communities by committing to their members' financial well-being. Bayport Credit Union, a proud sponsor of Apprentice Athletics. Thank you also to Worley's Home Services for their continued support of Builder Athletics as we take a look, see where things are right now. As Micah Petty has put in 21 minutes on the floor for the Bengals. But he only has 3 points in the basketball game. That has to hurt. If you're going to have someone out there that long, you would like for them to produce. And right now, Petty only has 3. Jordan Guerrero has not scored in the half. He was leading all scorers with 7. He's still sitting at 7. As Sherrod goes to work. Falls down. Whoop, nope, they're going to call a jump ball situation. So the possession arrow will remain at this end of the court. We do have some perspiration on the floor. I hope nobody steps there and slips and falls. Here's Calibri. Feed inside to Lynn. His shot blocked by Ely. Builders with a 22-point lead in the game. 56-34, 15 and a half minutes left. Ortiz unable to hit. Baldwin with the rebound. That's going to be a player control foul. So Micah Petty, who we just talked about, who has been on the floor pretty much the duration of the game, but has only put up 3 points. As a matter of fact, he's played more minutes than anybody on the Bengals basketball team this evening, but only has 3 points to show. Builders shooting 57%, while the Bengals are only shooting about 38%. Here's Smith. He still has 14. Feed goes inside to Ortiz, who goes to work with the reverse layup for 2. So now a 24-point lead for the Builders. As that left-handed shot by Micah Petty goes down. So that's his 5th point of the evening. That corner 3, no good, but Eason is there. So 60-34, Builders now lead by 24. Here's Sherrod. Baldwin wasn't quite ready for the pass. Lynn skies in and gets the rebound. Dish into the corner. That would hit the side of the backboard. Ortiz somehow able to get it to Jaden Eason, and Jaden Eason lays it off the glass for 2 and is fouled. How in the world was he able to thread that needle and get that pass inside? I will never know. Sherrod with the foul. That's the 4th personal foul. That's the 4th team foul, his 2nd. So Eason will get a chance at the line to complete a 3-point play, but how in the world did Ortiz fit that pass in there? There was no room. Builders now with a 27-point lead, 27-point lead in the basketball game. Guerrero with the basketball. His shot is short. Epps clears the rebound. Builders looking for their 16th win on the season. Their 3rd game or 3rd win in a row. Looking for their 6 out of 7 wins. Jaden Eason says, I think I can help with that. He pours in another 2. He now has 12 in the game. As Kalibrick able to feed Baldwin inside for the reverse layup. 65-38, 12:55 left. Epps is fouled. So that foul call will go on Micah Petty. That'll be his second personal foul, the team's 5th. Epps fouled in his active shooting. So Epps gets an opportunity to try to add to his point total. He has 3. Make it 4. 66-38 now. 12:53 left. So Epps makes them both. He now has 5 on the evening as the Builders force a turnover. Kyrie Smith tries the long outlet thinking someone released, and they did not. But the Bengals were able to track it down on the other end and convert 3 on the offensive end. That's Veljko Kalibrick. Shot is up off the glass. The shot is good, and we have a foul. That is going to be on Kevin Bowen. That'll be his second personal foul, and the team's 6th, and Avon Hawkins, who always plays so aggressively offensively whenever he gets into the basketball game, takes it to the defense, picks up the foul and the basket. And he also picks up the and 1. Builders now with a 29-point lead in the basketball game as Guerrero is fouled. So Kyrie Smith picks up his first personal foul, the team's 3rd. Foul was called on the floor, so Guerrero will not shoot foul shots. Here's Baldwin. Kalibrick. Baseline jumper, tough shot. Epps clears the rebound. Kick to Ortiz for 3. That was off the front of the rim, but right there is Avon Hawkins. He was unable to connect. So here comes Kalibrick. Baldwin. That baseline jumper is not going well right now for the visiting Bengals, as I believe we're going to get a timeout. Timeout being taken. This is a media timeout. This is the under 12-minute timeout. 11:33 remaining. Builders right now with a 29-point lead for Coach Evan Key in his 4th season. At the helm for the Builders, Carly Flowers is the head coach of the Bengals. Again, she brings her team in here with a 2-17 record from Fort Kent, Maine, which is approximately 1,006 miles away from here. University of Maine at Fort Kent is a public college. They have somewhere around, I don't know, about 1,500 students, probably give or take a few. The school that was established back in 1848, and they offer other sports other than basketball, things like soccer and track and field and volleyball, and some other sports that this program also offers. Builders are 29 of 51 from the field shooting. That's 56%. I looked at it wrong. The Bengals are 16 of 43 for 37%. Builders point in the paint right now, 44 to the Bengals 14. So just a couple of stats that could be telling in the basketball once you look at the final stat line is Guerrero. His wild shot, no good. Back come the Builders with Kyrie Smith. Hawkins launches. Rebound taken. There was a tie-up, but there's going to be a foul call. That call is going to go on Jaden Eason, and for Jaden Eason, that's his second personal foul and the team's fourth. Here's Calibri against Ortiz. He turns it over. Wall. Able to get it to Kyrie Smith, who extends and lays it off the glass for two, and Kyrie Smith now with 16 points. He and Jaden Eason were briefly tied for the most points on the Builder team at 14, but with that basket, Eason is able to regain the scoring lead in the basketball game for the Builders. He has 16 points now. So that foul was on, I believe, on Avon Hawkins. Away from the ball. 72-41. Feed inside, shot no good for Kevin Bowen. Here's Wall. Wall able to knife through the defense and lay it up for two. Builders now with a 25-point lead in the game. I'm sorry, that is, yes. I take that back. Builders now have a 33-point lead. What's going on with my math? Wall. Ortiz. We're now under 10 remaining in the ball game as Eason able to lay it up again. So again, the Builders continue to hammer the ball inside and score at will right now. Here's Baldwin. His shot up, and he's fouled. So that's Adrian Wall, who picks up his second personal foul in the team's sixth. So that'll put Bryce Baldwin back at the free throw line to try to score with the clock stopped at 9:42. Builders right now with a 35-point lead. Free throw off the mark. So Caleb Molesky makes his way in along with Ely. So Sherrod, Lynn, Buckner, and Wilson make their way into the ball game for the visiting Bengals, while Baldwin is at the line. As Baldwin hits second of two. Here's Wall. Hawkins trains it. Nothing but bottom. No rim, all net. So 79-42. As Sherrod is bumped. Sherrod is bumped by Adrian Wall. He's going to pick up his third personal foul as Chris Hemmond makes his way into the basketball game. 9:20 remaining. So that'll give Sherrod an opportunity at the free throw line. Sherrod is the first. Lead now 36. Lead now 35 for the Builders. 79-44 is Hemmond. Works against Sherrod, and he is fouled. So for Sherrod, that's his third personal foul of the team's seventh. So that will put Chris Hemmond at the free throw line. Builders are now in the 1-and-1 with 9:15 remaining in the basketball game. Builders will be shooting foul shots throughout. Heyman makes the first of two. And he makes the second of two. Builders now with a ridiculous lead in the game. 37. Lynn. Shot contested. No foul call as Ortiz and Lynn went up for the rebound. And they are going to call it on Ortiz. So Ortiz will pick up his second personal foul. That'll be the team's 8th. 2 more, and that puts the Bengals in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. Lynn able to hit. Lynn drains the second of 2. So that cuts into the Builder lead now. It's 35 as Ely works the baseline. There's Hemming. Inside, outside. Hemming once again. Tough shot, but he's able to hit. Little mid-range jumper in the lane. Goes down for the Builders, and Hemming gets his first points of the afternoon. He's got 2. As Baldwin with the extended finger roll layup off the glass for 2, and he's fouled. So Chris Hemming will pick up that foul. Builders now with 9 team fouls, 1 more, and that will put the Bengals in the double bonus. Bryce Baldwin at the line to shoot 2. I'm sorry, 1. And he hits. So Courage Harrell will make his debut at the 8:27 mark of the second half as substitutions also come in for the Bengals with Buckner and Wilson. As Harrell to Ortiz. Harrell. Ball last touched by Harrell. So the basketball will go in the other direction. Here's Buckner. Buckner. Ball tapped around several times underneath the basket. No one could just get a hand on it. And it was last touch and goes out of bounds. So it'll be Bengal basketball when we resume play. 7:55 left in the second half as the Builders now lead by 34 in the basketball game, 83-49. Builders have just poured it on here in the second half. Now they went into the locker room up 42-29, which is a 12-point lead, but have just come out and just blown the doors, outscoring their opposition 28-12 here in the second half. And that has led to the lead that we're currently sitting at right now at 34 points. This is one of the highest point totals that the Builders have been leading by in the basketball game. They've led by as many as 37 in tonight's game. Only 3 lead changes all night because the Builders pretty much got hold of the lead and just never let it go. So Builders now with 52 points in the paint, folks. That is a ridiculous amount of points. They've shot the ball 58 times. They've made 34 shots, 58.6%, while the visiting Bengals are 17 of 51 for 33%. So here's Buckner off a screen from Lynn. Buckner Another shot off the glass and good. Molesky, deep corner to Ely. His three-point shot no good. Rebound tapped around and controlled by Harrell. Here's Molesky. Wilson with the basketball. And we're going to get a reach-in foul, I believe, on Ely. Correction, that's going to be on Chris Hammond. Huh. Okay, that is his second personal foul, and that'll put the Bengals in the double bonus for the remainder of the game. 7:17 left as Wilson drains the first. So Clemente Riddick will get some playing time. 7:17 remaining in the basketball game. Builders with a 30-point lead is Hammond. Reach in foul, that's going to be on Buckner. Joshua Buckner. That'll only be his first personal foul. That'll be the team's 8th. So the Bills are still in the 1-1, not in the double bonus just yet. 2 more fouls, they'll be there. And Hammond makes the first of 2. And Hammond is the second. 85-53-7, 09 left. Builders winning big here on senior night at the Apprentice School Athletic Center as that shot comes off. Here's Ely. Ely all the way to the rack for another 2. And for Ely, that is his 11th point of senior night. Lynn, feed inside to Wilson. Blocked, slapped away by Ely. We already saw Ely light this crowd on fire with a breakaway dunk. Now he comes back on the defensive end with the swat. So 6:44 remaining in the basketball game. 84-53 Builders. Here's Lynn, step through, and that's good. Nice move by Nate Lynn. Here's Hammond. Caleb Molesky, his long 3. No doing. Loose ball comes off to the Bengals. Buckner, his corner 3 is good. So 87-58. Builders with a 29-point lead. Here's Harrell. Ely. Shot clock now under 10. It's Harrell. Shot clock now at 2. And we get a travel. If it wasn't going to be a travel, it was probably going to be a shot clock violation because as Harrell passed it to the corner, there was only 1 second left on the shot clock as Ely caught it, and he probably wasn't going to get it off before the shot clock expired. Wilson. Baldwin. Able to convert. So it's now a 27-point lead, 87-60. Courage. Missed everything. And we get a foul in the backcourt on Harrell. Harrell. And for Courage Harrell, that is his First personal foul. So with the Apprentice School now in the double bonus, that gives Joshua Buckner an opportunity to score with the clock stopped at just under 5 minutes. And he does so on the first attempt. So Tony Epps Jr. will make his way back into the ball game. As Joshua Baldwin makes the second of two. 87-62. 25-point lead. Skip pass in the corner. Shot clock under 10. Bench really wanted that one to go down for Reddick. They were waiting for it. They were going to go nuts. Buckner unable to convert on the other end. And like it was last touched by Wilson, and it was. 4:25 remaining in the basketball game. Ely feeds it to Hemmond. Feed inside to Molesky. Molesky has his shot challenged and blocked by Baldwin, but the officials say it was last touched by Baldwin. So it'll stay on this end, 87-62. Molesky, shot off the glass, 4-2, and he is fouled. So Nate Lynn will be credited with his second personal foul. The team's ninth. So Molesky gets an opportunity to complete the three-point play, and he does. So 90-62. Builders now with a 28-point lead, 4:08 left. Here's Buckner. Sherrod unable to get inside, gets it to Lynn, who breaks off the glass for two. So 90-64. And it'll be Builder basketball after this timeout. This is the 4-minute or under 4-minute media timeout. So this is the last media timeout. This will probably be the last timeout, I think, unless Coach Key wants to give his guys some additional playing time, since we're in a game where the Builders have such a sizable advantage, up by 26 points in this game. So we'll see. Worley's Home Services is a full-service home service provider serving the Hampton Roads area. Established in 2016, their original team of just 3 employees has now grown to 75 strong. Worley's Home Services is proud and motivated to serve all of the Hampton Roads, Virginia 757 community with the best possible service. Worley's Home Services, a proud sponsor of Builder Athletics. So 90-64 is the score. A lot of the stats are still the same in some of the areas that the Apprentice School was just, way out there ahead as far as pace of the point. Builders with 56. The visiting Bengals 24. Builders with 47 points off the bench. That has definitely been telling, as Kyrie Smith came off the bench and he scored 16. Three lead changes in the basketball game. Again, that was early in the contest, but once the Builders took the lead, they just have not surrendered it. As Hammond is harassed, and he turns it over. .338 left in the basketball game. It's Buckner. And we have a foul. They may be calling this one on Hemmon, but they do. Fans didn't like that. Chris Hemmon is going to be credited with that foul. That is his third personal foul. So that'll put Buckner at the line to shoot two with the clock stop. 90-64, Builders with a 26-point lead. Courage Harrell. Michael Miller and Michael Jabber into the ball game as Tony Epps, Sean Ely, and Caleb Molesky lead the court to the applause of the crowd. So Joshua Buckner gets an opportunity to shoot two with 3:30 remaining, and he hits it. So 90-65. Here's Jabber. Here's Hemmon. Feed inside to Harrell. Shot clock now under 10. Here's Hemmon. His baseline jumper, no good. Rebound to Wilson. Skip pass over to Buckner. Here's Sherrod. Air ball. So, of course, the shot clock does not reset, so here's Wilson at 10. Feed inside to Baldwin, who's fouled. So, Michael Jabber will pick up his first personal foul. And that will put Baldwin at the line to shoot two. Clock stopped at 2:35 remaining. I'm pretty sure Coach Evan Key is beside himself with that one. You do want your reserves to play smarter in there. And anytime you do something to stop the clock with a lead, that just ain't good. So Builders now with a 24-point lead. Make it 23. Basketball nearly turned over by the Bengals. Hemmon with the basketball. Chapman. That long corner three by Harrell is good. So 93-68, 2:10 remaining. I'm not sure if the Builders will have enough time and possessions to hang a 100-burger. We'll see. It's Wilson to Baldwin, who drains it. That's just a long two. Looked like a long two. Hemmon. Mr. Harrell, who gets all the way to the basket but just unable to finish. Here's Lynn. We're now around about a minute and a half remaining as Lynn loses it out of bounds. So it will be Builder basketball. Turnovers close to even in this basketball game as Harrell hits the three. So 36-70, 26-point lead by the Builders is Joshua Buckner. Wilson. Short. But the Bengals get it right back. We're now at a minute 8 remaining. And there's a foul call. So Clemente Riddick is going to be whistled for that foul. So once again, that puts the visiting team back at the line to try to score with the clock stopped at 1:06. So I agree there's no 26-point shot in basketball, thank God. And the first goes down. So for Bryce Baldwin, that is his 22nd point of the evening. And he hits the second of two. 24-point lead. We're now down to 1 minute remaining in the basketball game as Harrell able to get to the basket for the reverse layup. So the Builders now at 98. If they get one more possession and convert, they can score 100. Here's Wilson. I'm sorry, that's Lynn. Builders able to get the rebound. So will the Builders try to go for 100? We'll see on this possession. I don't hear Coach Evan Key tell them to hold the basketball, so deep corner three, jabber no good. We're at 32 seconds left. Builders underneath. Kick out to Hemmett. Long three-point shot, no good. We're down to 21 seconds remaining as the Builders turn it over. Builders were desperately trying to get a shot off to try to put up 100. Not really sure if they're going to get an opportunity. With only 13 seconds left, and the Bengals with the basketball. Loose ball tapped around. 5, 4, 2, 1, and that is how we'll end. Builders will not get 100, but they will get a victory. 98-72, as Coach Evan Key calls off these guys right there at the end to not try to push it up court and try to score 100 points. But boy, oh boy, Builders get out of here with their 16th victory of the evening. Now the Builders average about 72 points, but were able to put up 98 tonight against the 2-17 Bengals from the University of Maine at Fort Kent. I want to thank Coach Flowers and Coach Sherman for bringing their basketball teams all this way 1,006 miles to play the Apprentice School. We want to thank you definitely for joining us. We're going to step out of here. We're going to go get something to eat. But again, we thank you for joining us. Howard McCain, Dave Davenport. We're going to say so long for the Apprentice School Athletic Center, where the Builders get out of here with a 98-72 victory. We'll be back soon for more Builder action. But until then, remember, this is Builder Basketball.